Sampling. Your task is to count the number of whales in the ocean or the number of squirrels in a park. How could you do this? What problems might you face? A sample is used to make a prediction about an event or gain information about a population. A whole group is called a population. A part of a group is called a sample. A sample is considered random or unbiased when every possible sample of the same size has an equal chance of being selected. If a sample is biased, then information obtained from it may not be reliable. A sampling error is an error that occurs in data due to the errors inherent in sampling from a population. For example, to find out how many people in New York feel about mass transit, people at a train station are asked their opinion. Is this situation representative of the general population? No, the sample only includes people who take the train and does not include people who may walk, drive, or bike. Determine whether the situation would produce a random sample. You want to find out about music preferences of people living in your area. You and your friends survey every 10th person who enters the mall nearest you. Yes, this situation would produce a random sample. How would you estimate the size of a crowd? What methods would you use? Could you use the same methods to estimate the number of wolves on a mountain? A whole group is called a population. A part of a group is called a sample. When biologists study a group of wolves, they are choosing a sample. The population is all the wolves on the mountain. One way to estimate the number of wolves on a mountain is to use the capture-recapture method. Suppose this represents all the wolves on the mountain. Wildlife biologists first find some wolves and tag them. Then they release them back onto the mountain. They wait until all the wolves have mixed together. Then they find a second group of wolves and count how many are tagged. Here you can see there are 2 tagged wolves. Biologists use a proportion to estimate the total number of wolves on the mountain. The number of tagged wolves on the mountain, which was 8, they tagged 8 wolves, over the total wolves on the mountain, which is what we're looking for, equals the number of tagged wolves in the second group. Remember, there were 2. Out of total amount of wolves in the second group, there were 9 wolves in the second group. So we can cross multiply. 2 times W equals 8 times 9, which is 72. Divide both sides by 2, and we see that there are 36 wolves on the mountain. Try this. Biologists are trying to determine how many fish are in the Rancocas Creek. They capture 27 fish, tag them, and release them back into the creek. 3 weeks later, they catch 45 fish. 7 of them are tagged. How many fish are in the creek? Okay, so they initially capture 27 out of an unknown amount of fish. Then they capture 45, and 7 of them are tagged. So we cross multiply. 7 times F equals 27 times 45. Divide both sides by 7, and we see that there are approximately 174 fish in the river. 315 out of 600 people surveyed voted for candidate A. How many votes can candidate A expect in a town with a population of 1,500? Well, set up the proportion. If 315 out of 600 vote for them, X out of 1,500. Well, cross multiply, and we get the answer of about 788 people. The student council wanted to determine which lunch was the most popular among their students. They conducted surveys on 2 random samples of 100 students. Make at least 2 inferences based on the results. Most students prefer pizza. In fact, more people prefer pizza than hamburgers and tacos combined. The NJ Department of Transportation used 2 random samples to collect information about New Jersey drivers. The table below shows what type of vehicles were being driven. Make at least 2 inferences based on the results of the data. SUVs are the most popular vehicles among New Jersey drivers. Cars are the second most popular vehicles, and SUVs are at least twice as popular as minivans and motorcycles combined.